as we sit here. Well, I don't know how much farther should we go. You can't go back much farther.
I don't think so, not tonight. I can't remember any farther back from it.
You remember more than I do.
My memory's going anyway, I don't remember.
Lion's shot. Yeah, I can remember Rita Heaver, and she used to have relatives that lived in the house where you live now.
That's right, Kate and Sarah Hebron.
Yeah, and they took in boarders, remember? Worked on the one side.
Yeah.
And I remember Rita.
Geez, Patty only got about half one now. I think there's more. Did you ever hear about the way I caught scarlet fever?
You had scarlet fever?
Yeah, but he had it first.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It was only, I don't know, how old was me then?
Probably 12, 13.
I must have been in 4th or 5th grade, I think so. He got scarlet fever. And then he was pissed off at me because I didn't catch it. He got me down when he was flaking, he put one of them flakes in my mouth.
I blew in his, all I did was blow in your face.
Yeah, you put one, got my mouth open, put one on the place in my mouth. I got scarlet fever. Then the neighbors took him in, and he got out of the house.
See, when you got scarlet fever, after it started to leave, you peeled. All the skin came off your body.
Really?
Flaked right off, yeah. And while you had it, you were livid. I mean, you were red as a beet. And then you went on for a length of time, I don't know. But then you were over it. But that was the sign that it was gone. And
When you would start shedding the skin?
then you start just shedding all your skin. And it always left you with something wrong, like a murmur, a heart, or blind, deaf, whatever. It always left you with something wrong. And I escaped. The doctors used to wonder how I got through that without some deformity, you know. Usually the heart, something that affects your heart.
Yeah. And you were like in your early teens when this happened?
No, yeah, like 14.
And Bud, how old were you?
I don't know, but 14, I'm 2 years younger than that.
Yeah, 12. You see, when I caught it, our house was quarantined by the doctor.
Big red sign in the house.
And
yeah.
No kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, Dad could only one could go out, he'd go out to work and come back, that's all.
And when he came in and out of the house, he had a big white sheet with a hole cut in the middle that he put his head through so he could see where he's going. And he'd come in the house and have his meal. And then when he went outside, he would take the sheet off, and Mom had to wash it. And then he'd go to work. Well, see, the people across the street had the damn scarlet fever before and passed it on to me, see?
Mm-hmm.
Cotters were the name. And so they passed it on to me, and then when I survived it and gave it to Bud, the house was still quarantined, but I had to get out of the house. So they took me in.
The Cotters did?
Yeah. And they kept me until Bud
Was over it?
was over.
He couldn't come in the house because I had, but he get me down, roll my mouth, put the guy.
Oh, I know that bad.
Yeah,
I
he
used
just
to blow at
apologized
you.
for it the other night here.
Well, I'm glad you guys finally got that worked out.
Yeah, where the hell was Bob and Leo? How come they
So,
didn't
was Leo the oldest?
get... No, Bob was the
Bob was the
I
oldest?
the oldest.
What was the order? Bob, Leo, you, Bud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much older was Bob than you, Dad?
For about 4 years. Yeah, because Leo was next. Leo was 16 when he died, and I was 11.
Oh, okay, so he was
Yeah.
5 years older than you.
Yeah.
I think Bob was born in 1912.
Yeah.
And it was.
I I was 1918,
Couple years later,
Neil was
yeah.
1916, about there. And I can't figure out where they were. They must have been in the house somewhere. Oh well,
Maybe they were down with, down living with Liz.
It might have
they
been.
might have been.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about the church. Liz used to go to mass for everybody. She was the mass for the dead. She never missed mass all her life.
And she went to St. Bridget's right up.
Right down at St. Bridget's Church. And she was went to the mass for the dead this day, and just two of them would go. I mean, what's
Louis Jennings.
Komblowski, not
Vera.
Vera Komblowski and her would go to mass, big mass for all the dead, and this day the priest didn't show up. And I tell you, Lizzie laid for him. And she ripped him up one side and down the other.
Because the priest didn't show up for mass?
Yeah, the priest wasn't there. She was there and Vera was there, and the priest didn't show up to say mass. And she ripped one side and down the other, and she told him, I'm gonna be here when these masses are scheduled, and you better be here from now on. And he never missed it again.
I think Louis Jennings was another that attended all those masses. Huey's wife.
Yeah, Louis did. And Louis was a convert too.
She was a convert, yeah. She was a better Catholic than anybody else in the community.
Turn. I tell you, Lizzie didn't like that.
How did Lizzie feel about, now, why did she never marry? Was it
Take
because she
care of
was
her
taking
mother.
care of Sate?
No.
Or she was taking...
Say and Liz, they both had boyfriends, but they were dedicated to the mother. The mother lived to be 97 years old. Grandma,
Their mother was...
Mary Ann O'Neill,
Okay.
and she didn't die until 1932.
Gee, memory of a better time.
His Uncle Jack died in 1936, and they just stayed with the mother. Sate had a boyfriend by the name of Bo.
John Bowes.
Yeah, that wanted to marry her, but she wouldn't marry because her and Sate were going to dedicate her, like nuns, going to dedicate their life to taking care of the mother. She never went without anything.
So Liz and Sate lived in that house down in front of the railroad
Born
tracks
there and died
and took care of their mother in that house until her mother,
died.
Mary Ann O'Neill, died.
Yeah.
Now, let me look at my... Kids of Mary Ann. So it's so this would have been your grandfather, William. Your grandfather William Major died, leaving Mary Ann and her kids, which would include your dad and Liz and Sate and everybody. But Liz and Sate stayed in the house with their mom until she died in around 1936 or something around there.
1932.
32. And for that reason they didn't get married. How old would Liz have been in 1932 when her mother died?
How old was Lizzie when she died? In her eighties?
Let's see, Lizzie, died in 1970. She was, she was 87 years old.
She was 87
Yeah.
when she died in 1980. So she was born in 1893.
Yeah, she was a baby in the family. My father was born in 1878, March 17th, St. Patrick's.
Lizzie was the baby of the family.
Yeah, my father was born on St. Patrick's Day.
No wonder he's Patrick. Okay.
They would have named me Patrick if I had stayed away 3 more days. Or hadn't stayed away.
That's right, you should have held in there for 3 more days.
Yeah, I'm dying to get out.
So Lizzie would have been born in 1890.
That's got, by 1893, they got it right, yeah.
Because she was 87 when she died in 1970. No, wait a minute. She died in 70 and she was
87.
87. So no, 93 isn't right. What day is St. Patty's Day? March 17th?
17th, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. If she was really 87 when she died in 1970, then she would have been that would have put her. Was she 87 or 77?
87, pretty sure. What year is that?
Well, if she was 87 when she died in 1970, she would have been born in 1883.
Okay, I think you got it.
And she was the baby of the family?
She was the baby of my family. My
What-
father was born in March 17th, 1878. How old is that? What would be the difference between
5 years.
5 years? That'd be about